Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel, Nita's Colada 7-in-1. This particular video, to all those that's new to the channel, is going to be how to read tarot cards. Am I about to sit here and break down 78 tarot cards? No, I'm going to keep it very condensed, short and sweet. By the way, in the next video that I upload, which won't be today, in the upcoming videos in the future, I will be uploading how to create a deck of tarot cards and how to download some free tarot cards. What I did was I did some research and come to find out that you can get a free deck of tarot cards. You might have to download them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be including that in how to create a deck of tarot cards. That way it could be more in depth. So to all those that's new to tarot card reading and you might not be too sure which way you want to go, I would definitely say, number one, pick a tarot card deck that you feel pulls your energy or you feel you're comfortable with learning. Like, for instance, the Gothic Tarot by Joseph Virgo. Every tarot deck, well, let me get it right. Not every tarot deck of cards you get comes with a book. This tarot deck does. It's going to come with a book. It's going to break down the major arcanas. Straight up. It's going to give you the meaning, because some tarot decks don't have a reverse. Some tarot decks don't have no reverses at all. What I mean in reverse is that when the card come out, this is upright, the world card. Turn it upside down, this is reverse. Just to share this with you guys, that every tarot deck is going to give their meaning and breakdown, especially depending on who the producer, the creator of the tarot deck is. Some tarot decks you get, like this one that I got, the Master Tarot deck. When you open the box, you're getting a whole tarot deck, but there's no book. Straight up, no book. So what you can do is, if you want to, you can Google 78 cards if you got it in you, because I would recommend that. If you're not comfortable with doing that, but I'm going to just share this with you. Take it from me. I've been doing tarot for a good while, more than 4 years. It's still up to you as a tarot card reader to get your own interpretation of the card. What is your intuition telling you? Because a lot of the times we get tarot decks, and especially if you're new to tarot reading, you should not have to feel overwhelmed to remember every definition that came with the book that came with the tarot cards. So for instance, it's good to read it. Why? Because it gives you the knowledge and the insight. But any true tarot card reader, or for those of you that's thinking about wanting to learn how to read tarot, you have to use your intuition, and you got to spend time with the cards. One of the things I'm going to just share this with you. There's some do's and don'ts when you start doing tarot card reading. The first thing you do is you pray to God, because God going to be the one to give you the insight and the knowledge of whether or not you know this is for you. So there's a difference. You got tarot cards that come with a book. You understand what I'm saying? And usually most tarot decks some come with more than 78 cards. I want to share that with you guys now. So you can read the books to the tarot decks, which is beautiful, but please don't overwhelm your mind or stress your mind trying to remember each and every last definition. You will mess around and your brain will burst. We got tarot decks, we got oracle decks. Now, can you turn around and use any type of cards and turn it into a tarot or reading energy? Yes, you can. Why I say that is because you got people out there that do katamatsi, like me. I use regular playing cards. The same cards you guys are playing spades with, pity pat, poker, blackjack 21. I use these and I read these cards. Depending on your energy and how deep you go into learning how to read tarot cards, these are things you're going to learn. So I'm going to break down an example. The Joker in the Bumblebee deck is known as the Fool card. You understand what I'm saying? Hearts is known as Cups. Clubs is known as Wands. Hold on. Spades is known as Swords. Hold up. Diamonds is known as pentacles. So, because as we all know, there's 4 suits when you're dealing with cards. What happens is, though, in tarot, you got minor and major arcanas. Basically, the tarot deck, the energy you read is going to tell you a story, and it's up to you what are you getting out of the story? Like, for instance, somebody may see the world card and you might think somebody's out there in the world. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're going to get a definition of what the card means. But you being the tarot card reader that's learning how to read tarot, it is highly up to you to use your intuition and use your own interpretation. You can sit out there and read every tarot book in the tarot industry. Another thing I want to announce is that in the state of New York City, you do not need or have to be certified to be a tarot card reader. So when you start learning how to read tarot cards and you decide you want to use Patreon, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, you do not have to be certified. Please don't let nobody get in your ear and tell you that, oh, you're not certified. You can Google this. You can look up this information. You do not need no license to, start a tarot card business. Once you start learning how to read tarot cards, I would strongly recommend if you decide to start a business, proceed forward. Now, like I was saying, we got tarot cards, we got oracle cards. Oracle cards is going to look a little bit different. Usually with most oracle decks, you're going to get a book. And it's going to give you the meaning. Usually in the back, it's going to give you a little illustration and, a little background of the creator, who made the oracle deck, who did the cards. And sometimes if you want to, you can contact the person and write a thank you note. You understand what I'm saying? It's up to you. But oracle cards are different. They're not tarot cards. So for instance, they're going to look like this. Straight up. Hold on. Let me just grab a few and give you an idea so you can know. I also recommend that when you start learning how to read tarot cards, for some of you out there, if you're comfortable with oracle cards, use oracle cards. Because oracle cards, depending on what oracle cards that you're using or you buy or can afford, because I know we all on hard times, I would definitely say pick a deck you feel comfortable with. Use that deck. Do not be afraid or feel overwhelmed. And there's no right or wrong in reading tarot. It's your interpretation. So for instance, let's say Star card. This is a major arcana card. You understand what I'm saying? Straight up. I got to share this with you guys so you guys can understand. Five of Swords is a minor arcana. You understand? So the book that comes with the tarot deck or the oracle deck is going to give you definition, is going to give you meaning, but I just highly stress that you don't overwhelm yourself or, feel like there's no right and wrong. Because let me share this with you. You got some people, they start to learn how to read tarot and they start Googling, you're going to get overwhelmed. Because the meaning you get off of Google, the meaning you get out of the tarot book is going to be two different meanings. That's why it's highly up to you when you start to learn how to read tarot, is to truly use your own interpretation of what you feeling, what energy you picking up on, what do you see. You understand what I'm saying? And don't sit up there and let a bunch of meanings, because I'm going to share this with you. I read books. When I get a new tarot deck, I read the book. Even though I've been doing tarot for a long time now. I read the book. I see what the tarot deck is about. And then I turn around and I still use my own interpretation. And that has been the best guidance I have ever used in my life. Because if you sit up there and follow every meaning in that book, sometimes you will be wrong. And what's going to happen is that you're going to get some type of intuition, some type of download. When you start reading tarot, take your time. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just don't sit up there, though, and start doing things you're not supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing I recommend is when you start learning how to read tarot, this is sage. I sage and cleanse my cards. Sage doesn't cost that much. You can go to your local botanica. You can get it for like $4. They got bigger sticks, like 9-inch big sticks that be about $8 or $12. You understand what I'm saying? Cleanse your cards. Another thing is that if you feel too overwhelmed as you're learning, take a pull back, take a break. Because learning tarot is supposed to be fun. When you start learning how to read tarot cards, you're supposed to have fun with it. You're supposed to enjoy it. You understand what I'm saying? Play with it a little bit. Don't sit up there and start telling yourself, well, if I don't learn this and if I don't do this by a certain time, I'm not a good tarot card reader. Please do not beat yourself up or manipulate yourself. Are you going to be perfect when you start out? Hell no. Take it from Trixie. Take it from me. When I started reading tarot cards, I started with a Barbaro. I started with a Spanish deck, and I don't speak Spanish. Straight up, I don't speak no Espaniola. But I started out with that deck because that deck led me into all the other decks that I once had. And due to certain situations, I had a bad, unfortunate incident. So I'm working on rebuilding my tarot card collection. I'm working on rebuilding my tarot art business because when I got into tarot cards, I decided to start a tarot art business and I went to the streets with it. See, I'm a little bit different at the end of the day. But some of you out there, you can go to your family and friends and practice on them. When you start learning how to read tarot cards and you feel comfortable, you could do the card of the day, card of the week. It's all energy. Please do not feel intimidated when you decide or the thought comes into your head that you might want to learn how to read tarot cards. And also remember that if you don't want to use tarot cards, like I said, you can use oracle cards. Oracle cards for some people is more easier. No matter you know it or not, you can still do readings with oracle cards. You understand what I'm saying? But when you start out with tarot cards and you learning, it is best that you do start out with a regular tarot deck. You understand? So it might be the Rider-Waite deck. You understand? Here, let me pull out this Master Tarot deck. Because what's going to happen is that when you get your first tarot card deck from Amazon, and I love Amazon. Anybody that know me, you know I love Amazon. Shout out to Amazon at the end of the day, because what you can do is that when you start learning how to read tarot cards, you go also get a free Etsy store, Etsy.com. I won't have my link in the description box because I just signed up for an Etsy store and I haven't set up my Etsy store. But you can also set up a store with Amazon and Etsy. I set up 2 accounts with them. I just didn't go into the depths of setting up pick a question and advertising yet because I'm still working on getting things together. But I just want to share this with you guys. When you get a deck of tarot cards, they're going to look like this. Straight up. Hold on, let me pull a few out. They're going to look like this. I want you to see. Straight up. I'm telling you, you're going to have the King of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. You understand what I'm saying? And it's really up to you to determine what are you getting out of the image. Because you could read a book all day. But what do you really see? For instance, you might say, okay, with the 8 of Pentacles, some people... We all know, okay, for those of you that don't know, when you learn how to read tarot, when you get the 8 of Pentacles, the meaning of this card is working on your craftsmanship, working towards something. Some of you might see this card when you start to read tarot and said, okay, somebody's at work. Somebody's doing something. That is okay. There is no right and wrong in how to read tarot cards. Just don't sit up there and don't ever do tarot readings involving black magic, evil, misleading people, because what happens is that sometimes when you start to read tarot, you might meet people that are into some stay away from demonic things. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna just share this with you. Take your time with the deck. Spend time with the deck. By the way, do you know, for instance, okay, when you start to learn how to read tarot, if you're not comfortable with regular tarot cards like these, you know that show Supernatural y'all be seeing on TV? Supernatural got a deck. You know the Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones got a tarot deck. I can't wait to get those 2 decks in my collection at the end of the day because I like the Game of Thrones. But when you start to learn how to read tarot cards, you can pick tarot cards that are related to TV shows, movies, music. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you start to learn how to read tarot, I would say go with what works with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I am well diverse. I'm to the point where I could read Uno cards and I could share something with you because I do numerology. That's a totally different subject. I'll upload that on another video. But when you start to learn how to read tarot cards, you don't need to feel overwhelmed or just start putting these thoughts in your head that you're not doing a good job, because see, that happens to people. You know who's a good person to look at? Papa Squirrel. You could search him. He's a YouTuber. You can search him at the end of the day. Papa Squirrel is somebody that will, When I say go into depths, way more than what I'm going into. I decided to keep my videos short and condensed because, number one, when you're learning how to read tarot, it's not rocket science. Number two, there's no right and wrong. I kind of noticed that when I was researching how people are teaching people how to read tarot cards. Will I be offering tarot card lessons? Yes. Will they be reasonable? Yes. All the information will be down below in the description box. But my main point of it is that when you start to learn how to read tarot cards is to get your own interpretation. Do not sit up there and let nobody tell you, well, you ain't say the meaning of the card and it didn't match the meaning of Google. You ain't a good tarot card reader. Bullcrap. Don't fall for that. Because what's going to happen is the more time you spend with the cards, you might also want to get a tarot card journal or regular 99-cent composition book. You could do card of the day. Write down what you feel you got off the card. There is ways that you can gradually build yourself in learning how to read tarot cards. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to view this video and think, well, it's going to be hard for me to learn 78 cards. And you understand? Don't compare yourself to other people, because what happens is when you start comparing yourself to other people, it's going to be negative energy around you. Because now you're looking at Susie Q that could read 78 cards or 150 cards, because some tarot decks come like that. They come with more than 78. Might come with 140, 150. You don't got to remember each and every last definition of a card. It's up to you as the energy reader, because when you start getting into tarot, you usually are woke and you're tapping into spirituality. Don't let nobody lie to you. Talking about you're using divination. You doing this. I be looking at people like, damn, with cards? For real? Learning how to read tarot cards is supposed to be a fun and opening experience that is welcome to all walks of life. You understand? And it doesn't matter how old you are whenever you decide to start reading tarot cards. You understand? Like I said, just don't sit up there and overwhelm yourself. And please don't do like I did. I had a Spanish deck. And I had to sit there with those cards, look up those cards at the end of the day. And I would definitely say try to even get a Rider-Waite tarot deck. You understand what I'm saying? That's going to give you the minor and major arcanas. And the minor and major arcanas, I'm putting this list up here so you guys can see it. This is it. And like I said, I like using different tarot decks and oracle decks because they give out messages. So learning how to read tarot, it's not as complicated as some people like to make it. You do not have to eat with the colors and the symbol. No. What's your interpretation of the card when it comes out? That's what you do. Give a genuine, your interpretation of the card. You understand? Don't sit up there and let nobody manipulate you or get into you. And it's up to you if you want to read upright and reverse. I'm that kind of tarot card reader. I read upright, reverse. Like I said, I do cartomancy. I read regular playing cards. And I learned that off of me practicing with tarot and oracle decks. I got highly. When I tell you, man, anybody that know me know, like, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because as you start to do tarot reading, you're going to meet other like-minded people that's into tarot. So learning how to read tarot is not complicated. It's not challenging. You don't have to sit up there and have the cards in your hand and feel nervous. No. What does the moon card mean to you? Major arcana. That's what it is. It's like a picture graphic story in your face. And one of the things I will say is, like, do not copy nobody. Be your own original, authentic self. One thing about me, I'm authentic. I don't got to copy nobody. And I can meet about 20, 30 tarot card readers. I'm going to be me. You understand? And I would definitely say when you go to buy a deck or purchase a deck, stay within budget. Start off easy. You understand what I'm saying? And there are numerous. When I tell you, if I was rich, I'll have wall-to-wall tarot card decks in here. You understand what I'm saying? And on top of it, like I said in the beginning of this video, I will be uploading a video in the future how to create a tarot deck. And on top of it, I will be including free links and downloads to download free tarot card decks that you could download, print out. They're like paper decks. And you could like glue them to index cards and things like that. You could start out that way, especially if you're on a tight budget due to the global pandemic. Like I said, once again, you may want to go and check out Papa Squirrel channel because I did. And what he has is he has these videos. I love Papa Squirrel, and I had to just find out about him. He has videos where he'll show you, and definitely, like I said, stay within budget. There are terror decks. Oh, pardon if you hear the fire truck in the background. I apologize, ladies and gents. There are terror decks. I'm sorry. I'm in New York. This is what I deal with. Hold on, just in case y'all hear that. Okay. Once again, you can go on Amazon, and this is what I love about COVID-19 right now and everything that's going on. Normally, tarot card decks go out of style after a while because new decks are being made. Like, for instance, they got a Harley Quinn and Joker deck that I want to pre-order when I get right. You know what I'm saying? I got to put some work in. I'm getting that deck to add to my collection at the end of the day. But there are decks of tarot cards on Amazon under $10, under $15, under $20. You may want to definitely make sure that when you go to invest, because you can get a few, for some of you out there, I know the price of shipping has been expensive due to the cost of living all over. I would definitely say that when you go to purchase your first tarot deck, you understand what I'm saying? Type in tarot decks under $10, under $15, due to the fact that you are new and you're interested in learning how to read tarot. That way, if you turn around and maybe feel like, learning how to read tarot cards is not for you and you lose interest, you didn't invest a lot and you ain't give too much and you didn't waste a lot of money neither. You understand what I'm saying? Because take it from me, I am so thankful and humble to everybody that supported me, supported my tarot card business. And I'll be real with you. When I started learning how to read tarot, I came out my pocket. I had about maybe 1, 2, 3 people that was supporting me, but the decks I was accumulating, I paid for them, and I didn't mind. It's something that I already knew when I started learning how to read tarot. It was over. It was something in me that it became not just a hobby, but a passion, a creativity. Also, when you start learning how to read tarot, I would recommend you get a tarot deck, get an oracle deck. So that way you can get a feel of both. You understand what I'm saying? See what it is. Definitely do more research online, because when I tell you, oh man, they got beautiful tarot decks out there that can help you grow and build. You understand? Learning how to read tarot is supposed to be a beautiful experience. But definitely don't invest too much money, because you don't want to be that person where later on you change your mind. This ain't for you. So I would say definitely when you go to Amazon, type in tarot decks under $10. That way you can get 1 or 2 decks. You save yourself a few dollars, and you have a choice whether or not you want to proceed forward, because of everything that's going on in the world. Like with me, I don't just do tarot reading. I also go to an online school. I also, I do weddings. I am someone that is very diverse, and I'm always learning, and I'm always looking to get certified at the end of the day. So definitely when you start learning how to read tarot, don't overwhelm yourself. Do it on your days off, and remember that there's no right and wrong. It's your interpretation. What are you getting out of it when you see it? You understand what I'm saying? Don't sit up there, and please don't let nobody get in your ear to tell you how you should be reading the cards, because this is going to happen. For those of you that are new to reading tarot cards, some of y'all going to find out that y'all might have family members or friends that's spiritual. That's going to be like, hey, you should read the card this way and do that. You're going to meet people outside of you that might want to tell you how to care for your tarot cards, how you should be reading them, what you should do. Please do what's best for you. Because usually when you do what's best for you and you stick to being your authentic self, that's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. So to all of you guys out there that's interested in learning how to read tarot cards, please take your time. Please take it easy. Once again, I will have how much I charge for tarot lessons, which is not going to be a lot, because you can also use, all you got to do when you reach out to me, tell me what social media platform you're comfortable with using. And when I receive payment, I will gladly sit there with you and teach you how to read tarot cards. Because I see some people, They teaching people how to read tarot cards, and they are just beating them upside the damn head. I'm not doing that at the end of the day. So if you decide to pick me to be your teacher to teach you how to read tarot cards, all my information will be down below in the description box. And please have fun with it, flow with it. You understand what I'm saying? Do not be afraid to play around with the energy. I love all of you guys, and thank you for all that tuned in. Bye.